usually by now I have students saying, well, how do I decide when I go darker, how I go darker, what types of lines should I use besides cross hatching and hatching? And that's where this next little handout comes into play. It is just for practice. It is the way to work it out before we move on to the big sheet of paper as far as what looks like it could go where. So at your table, I did hand out the line drawing sheet. They're small little cones, squares, and cylinder shapes where you can practice some different line techniques. I'm gonna try to zoom out here. And of course, I always have a little handout that goes along with it that shows you some ideas. With everything in art, these are just starting places. You can totally throw the rules out the window if you find something that works better for you. Or if you're absolutely not sure how to start, you can use the same kinds of designs as what's listed on this paper. So hopefully everybody can see what I got here. This is graded and put into the grade book. But as long as you're trying, you're getting full points for it. So up at the top, it's just asking you to create short little dashes, filling in the space, same pressure, same value. You can use your pen, you can use your pencil. I would, if I was working on this, be practicing with my pen. But small little dashes over and over, creating a median tone. Where this could get applied is maybe over here on the cone. So maybe here I could just add in small little, maybe I should do my pen so you can see it better. Over here, I could just add in small little dashes over and over, starting to show value on the cone. And if it makes more sense to you to work light to dark, go ahead and work light to dark, or if you like to work dark to light, here I'm going to add in some cross hatching. Same thing as those 12 little squares that we did. We're just going to use the hatching, cross hatching, or scumbling, or if you want to do pointillism, it takes a long time, but you could definitely do that. I'm following the same shape and value that I see up here. So I'm darkening down the center. If this was part of a tree, which part of the tree would it represent? This cone. I could use it for bark. What about the top of the tree? Could I imagine this as the top of the tree and have my highlights and shadows to give that form? Maybe if you're doing more of a pine tree. I wouldn't want anything this man-made and perfect on your final design, but you could use it if you imagine it being the top of the tree. What about this cylinder? What could that work for? The trunk of the tree. It has that 3D cylinder feel. So over here, I know I'm going to darken one little strip, have a highlight or a lighter area and a mid-tone. So that would be the middle of those 10 little squares that we did. And I could just practice that. Maybe instead of doing the short dashes, I might want to go with horizontal hatching and follow the shape of the cylinder. And I know I want this to be my darkest area, so I'm just going to go back and forth. It does take a while when you're working with pen. I'm going to change up my direction just to darken it. Could I use hatching and small little dashes on the same object? Yeah, why not? Whatever you are most comfortable working with and whatever is working well for you is what you're going to be using on it. Right, down at the very bottom, it doesn't tell you what types of lines to use. That means you get to come up with your own. If you want to do some scumbling, recreating small organic shapes over and over, this could be an interesting bark texture or a bush texture or even flowers or grass. I get to pick what I want to add in there with my pen. And I'm just randomly kind of scumbling as I go. Does that make sense to everybody? Is this all sort of coming together in your mind as far as using the pen to create the trees, the textures, the forms? Okay. All right, at this time, we're going to take a little break and go outside for our math break.